currently uploading my eJoker's blender review from Backwoods Brew. So if you're catching that first, you probably might have heard that I said I was going to try and get out a mod accessory review, and here it is. It's a small little guy. This comes from cloudsofvapor.com. I didn't get it directly from them. I got it in a trade with another ECF forum member. This guy has a 510 threaded connection, and it screws onto any 510 device. Get it screwed in here. And what it does, it's got a little LED screen here that will give you a readout, and you should be able to see this here. Should be, I think it says 4.04. Yep. So what that's telling me is that this device has a max output potential of 4.04 volts. I've got an 18650 in here, which is going to fully charge up to right around 4.2. Been using it for a day or so, so I'm down to 4.04. So this is a pretty handy little device to have. Now, things that this is not going to do. It is not going to work on your Ego style devices. When I put it on here, as you can see, it just flashes, flashes, flashes. Nothing. You can't get a reading. The Ego doesn't deliver steady power to the atomizer, which is, I believe, why that works that way. Another device that it's not really going to work on is any device that employs a resistor. Okay, so here's my 5 volt resisted GLV2, and let's see what this reads. 7.7. Now this is a 5 volt device, and this is a head scratcher for me at first. I couldn't figure it out. I actually had to PM Jay over at Great Lakes Vapor and say, what the hell? But the way this works, because this meter is not going to give you a reading under load, if you will, so it's not like it's got an atomizer and then it's measuring. It's not going to trip the resistor here. So all this is really doing is showing me that the two 16340s I have stacked in here have a potential output of up to 7.7 volts. Still say 7.7? Yes, 7.7 volts. Who would want one of these? Modders would want one of these if you're into making mods. If you're into testing batteries and equipment and you don't have a multimeter to use, this is a great secondary option. It's very user-friendly, very easy to use. Just screw it on and go. And people with variable voltage devices, they all employ some sort of a regulator. A regulator should give you an accurate reading using a device like this. One thing I will say about this, it is put together fairly well. The one thing that bugs me, this 510 battery connector here is not very friendly. It's not the greatest thread, so you really kind of have to get it in just the right spot for it to thread on right. Otherwise it'll kind of almost try and cross thread. See, there you can see it's not getting on the way it should. So you're going to be a little bit careful with that. Another fun experiment. People have said, does the gooseneck lower your voltage output because you're transporting power farther? So we can check that out with a device like this. So here it is, screwing it onto the gooseneck, onto the silver bullet, and let's take a look. Still says 4.04. Not losing any power on my 4.5-inch gooseneck. So even if I bend it, still 4.04, making no difference there. This can be netted and can be yours for, I believe it's $19.95 in shipping from Bruce over at Clouds of Vapor. I may not be correct on the price though, but I believe it's $19.95. It's a pretty handy little device if you're not good with things like multimeters. If a multimeter isn't your thing and you want to be able to test batteries, test devices, pick up one of these, throw it in your vaping toolbox, and you are good to go. So that's what it is, just a real quick look at it. I know it's not the newest device around there. I just got my hands on it recently. There are a couple of other vendors who sell pretty much the same thing, and they're all, I believe, in about that $20 price range. So if you are a variable voltage guy or gal, or you're a serious modder, or you just like having fun little toys around in your box to check out devices and check things out when you get them in your hands, pick one of those bad boys up. That's what I've got for you. See you again very soon.